Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Melissa and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Today's tip is don't try Dubai chocolate. Honestly, it is the most ridiculously priced treat that I've seen and completely unnecessary. So essentially, if you don't know what it is, it's essentially instead of using peanut butter, they use pistachio butter, which is supposedly sweeter. It's based on, I don't know, like Khalif or something like that. It's a dessert from Dubai or what have you. But basically, it's a phyllo dough like consistency from what I've read. That's kind of like toasted and mixed in with the pistachio butter and tahini and then covered in milk chocolate. Which you might be like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. For me, this was a super easy don't try. Every single ad I saw didn't look appealing. Saw people putting in shakes, people putting in everything, and I was just like, I don't get it. What's like the big deal about this thing? And then somebody asked me for one, couldn't find it anywhere. All of a sudden, about a week later, they started showing up at grocery stores everywhere. And I saw a thing at Jewel, which is a local grocer near me. It's part of like the Safeway Albertsons chain. Anyways, sorry. It was like $12.99. It said like $12.99. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, maybe that's why they're so popular. I mean, $12.99 for a case of candy bars. That's not bad for like, nope. Nope, that was the cheapest I saw at $12.99. If you do live in the Chicagoland area, apparently that deal is going on until sometime in 2026 based on the app. I was at Wally's today as I was doing research for something. I stopped in Wally's because I was just, curious to see what it was about. And, it's big, like kind of like similar to like Buc-ee's, but not nearly the traffic. Super expensive. Hot dog was like $3.50. So there it was $25. So the price range I've seen on these candy bars is $12.99. That wasn't for a case, that was for one bar. One bar. Who pays $12.99 for a chocolate bar? I can go and pay like 26. I don't know. I think it's gone up. It may be up to like $32 now a pound at the local what do you call it? The local candy store. I don't know, chocolatier or whatever. And they make some amazing candy and amazing caramel. And I don't know. Is it $32 a pound now? I don't know. But still, I feel like if I'm going to get a Lindt chocolate bar because it's a Dubai bar or whatever that other brand is, I'm not paying $13 a bar. And then on top of it, I was talking to the lady at Wally's and I was like, this is a per bar price? She's like, yeah, $25. And what's more amazing, she said they regularly sell them. She's always astounded. She's like, I could go out and have a steak dinner for $25 and you're buying a candy bar? Yeah, so why don't we buy it? I mean, one, who pays $13 to $25 for a candy bar based on, where you get it? And just for reference, I was like, wow, that's more expensive than like a dessert at a restaurant. So I was like, where is like, out of all of the chains, which one's going to probably have the most expensive dessert? I was like trying to think, and I was like, I bet you Cheesecake Factory has an expensive dessert. Maybe I can find a slice of cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory that's also $13 so I can have an even comparison so you can see like this one chocolate bar versus this huge piece of cheesecake. And like it or not, I mean, still, cheesecake is a more expensive dessert to make. And if you've ever been to Cheesecake Factory, their slices are ginormous. And their most expensive one was actually the fresh strawberry cheesecake, which made no sense to me because essentially it looked like the regular cheesecake with a couple of strawberries on it. And that was $11.99. It was like $11.95 maybe. It was $1 cheaper than the cheapest price I found for the Dubai chocolate bar. And I just feel like I can't justify spending that kind of money on a candy bar. Essentially, that's what you're doing. You're spending money on a candy bar because it's viral, because it's trendy, because the right person suggested it. Now, here's the thing. A lot of lessons can be learned from choosing not to do this. So, for me, it didn't look appealing. And even if it had, when I saw the price tag, I would have been like, no, we are not trying that. But me and my kid both looked at it, and it looked like a textural nightmare to both of us. Plus, my kid hates any form of nuts. They tried to use pistachios when they were younger because they saw the kids were opening the pistachios and throwing the nuts in the fire, and they thought that would be fun. And I said, well, you got to eat the pistachio. And nope. He's like, can't somebody else eat the pistachio and I'll just throw the shells? No. It's not how it works, buddy. And so obviously it was a no-go for them. But it's so expensive, and I'm not really one who goes for the viral trends. I do have a Yeti cup, but that I got as a gift. Before that, I had the Ozark Trail Walmart version of it, and I had a couple of those. I don't know what happened to those. They're either in the back of the cabinet, or they have gradually, like, the lids may have worn out. I mean, I got them 2013, maybe 14. I'm trying to think. 11. I got them before 2016. I know that. But I didn't go and buy a Stanley Cup when they were trending. And the thing is like, especially if it's a food. So let's say I did find it appealing and I did try it and I absolutely loved it. Then I'm going to want it. But if I don't try it and I don't know what I'm missing, I'm not going to be upset that I'm missing out on this super ridiculously expensive candy. And I mean, to me, it seems like a fancy schmancy Reese's Peanut Butter Cup after I read what goes in it. It's like tahini and pistachios and the pastry, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's similar to like a phyllo dough that's like toasted and then like crunched up and mixed with the thing, and chocolate. And it just doesn't sound appealing to me. And even if it did, it just sounds really unnecessary. We are in a recession. People are complaining they can't afford groceries. I just read a statistic like 40, 50, 60%. It was either 40 or 60%. I can't remember. Of parents can't afford school supplies for their children. They can't afford to go and spend 50 cents on a notebook for their kid. They can't afford. And I mean, honestly, I could probably do school supplies for most lists for around $20 before backpack and lunchbox. Or less. And they can't afford to buy that, but they can go out and spend $25 on a candy bar. Don't tell me you don't have money for groceries and spend $25 on a candy bar or $12 on a candy bar. And I'm not villainizing sweets or saying you can never have a sweet treat. I'm not saying, oh, you can't afford groceries and you bought that $1 candy bar that they've, can't remember, maybe Hershey's or something. I saw they made like these smaller versions that are on sale all summer for $1 because people are broke. So their solution was they created this really small dollar version so people can have, their candy. In reality, it's just, so they don't lose as much in sales. But, so I'm not saying like you can never have a sweet treat and everything. If you, obviously if you're struggling to pay for groceries, prioritize the necessities first. I mean, think like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory kind of thing. He, if you're at the eating cabbage soup phase, that chocolate bar is a once a year treat, not a regular occurrence. But just don't do it. Don't go with the trends. You don't need a Stanley cup. You don't need whatever the new cup is. I can't remember. I thought it was hysterical when the Stanley cups were, because my dad had a Stanley thermos growing up when I was a kid, like my whole life. I never wanted a Stanley. I wanted the Rainbow Bright thermos. Thank you very much. Still love to have a Rainbow Bright thermos, even though I had a Rainbow Bright thermos at one point, but I used to pack soup in it, and I'm guessing that if I had it now, I'd probably find out that the plastic has poisons leaching into it or whatever. But yeah, just don't do it. Do not buy trending food items, because if you don't buy them, you're not going to be tempted to buy them again. Just avoid it. And you don't need it. You don't need it. I mean, $25, you might as well just like throw it out the window, because that bar is going to be gone like that, and it's just not worth it. I mean, you go out to dinner, for that. You could, there's so many things you could do with that money. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.